Hey,
Hey,
are you too rich to be a real estate investor? Is
what
that
do
a
you mean by
thing?
that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, let's think about it for a minute. You know, you can be too rich, in my opinion, to be a real estate investor, too successful.
Ooh, that's
Because,
a that's intriguing, isn't it?
yeah, okay. It just came to me at the mastermind that we had.
Don't
So,
give it away yet.
yeah, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. So, you guys go grab your coffee, whatever. Invite your friends, your real estate investing friends, share this live stream. Let's get some people over here and have a conversation about that and how being too successful can impact your chances of success at being an investor.
Yeah.
All
See you
right.
back after the song, the cool song.
Morning, sub tours.
I wish that could play the whole time in the background.
It's Thursday. It's time for our weekly, or almost every week, Go Talk. Guys, we got a few things to talk about today. Our main topic: are you too successful or too rich to be a real estate investor? Before we get started, I want to invite you guys. If you're watching us, wherever you're watching us, uh, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, sub2tv.com. We release new videos almost every single day on some aspect of real estate investing. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just checking something.
All right.
Making sure we were.
Also, if you're new to real estate investing, maybe you're new to creative real estate investing, check out our free creative finance guide. You can go to sub2deals.com/CFG.
Creative
You can,
finance guide.
and you can get that guide. So it's absolutely free. It won't take you but a second to get it, and it'll expose you to several different ways that you can buy houses with no cash, no credit, um, or any of that stuff. So, anyway, I'm going to talk about a few things today. Of course, our main topic: are you too successful to be a real estate investor? So, what does that mean exactly? What do you think about it, Jody?
Well, it sounds like that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Well, I don't know what that was, but anyway, it can wait. Uh, at our mastermind, we were talking about success and what it takes to be a successful investor. And it just occurred to me that over the years, one of the things that I've noticed is that people that are really successful when they uh, decide to become a real estate investor, they have a harder time. It seems like being successful at being an investor, and I think part of that comes from, and I don't like to use all the cliches, but the comfort zone thing. If you're too happy where you are, if you're too comfortable where you are, I think it inhibits your ability to take risk.
That's right.
And
Because you have something to lose.
yeah, if you don't have anything to lose, if you're broke as a joke, if you have a job that you hate, how many times have some of us, now not everybody listening to this obviously, has asked themselves, can this get any worse? So when you're in that kind of situation where things can't get much worse, uh, you tend to just go for broke because uh, it can only go up. But if you're making good money, if you have a job that's not horrible, perhaps, but you don't like being tied to a schedule, and you think, man, a real estate investor's life's pretty glamorous, and they get to travel a lot, and they get to make a lot of money. Making that jump's tough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we find that in a lot of students. I guess I would ask that question. Any of you guys out there that are trying to be real estate investors or want to be a real estate investor, you have to look at, just how comfortable you are right now. Are you willing to take some risk and take some chances? Because I don't care who you follow, what books you read, whose YouTube channel you watch, there is a certain amount of risk in what we do.
I
Okay.
feel like the ones that I hear are most successful really were in a bad spot when they started.
Right.
It's kind of a do or die thing for them.
Yeah. And like I said, the reason that it really, I started looking back over the years at the people that I've known or the people that I have taught, and it seems like it's a real challenge for you if you have that obstacle of, gosh, I don't want to walk away from my job, maybe, or something like that. That it makes it really difficult. Guys, say good morning to us. Let us know where you are. Corey, good morning to you. Good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well. We just, if you have some questions, throw those in here. We'll be glad to answer them for you. We had someone send in a question for Ask the Goat. We're going to get to that today too. We just got, as I referenced earlier, we just got back from one of our Mastermind meetings. We had this one up in Branson.
Best one yet.
Yeah, I had a great time. We rented this huge, 7,000 square foot, 12, 13 bedroom cabin up there, and just had a fantastic time. This place had an indoor pool. It was amazing.
And it's in a basketball court.
And an indoor basketball court, and of course pool tables and bowling. I just had all kinds of stuff, and it was really cool. So we got to hang out there and have a really good time. In fact, we've got as of right before the meeting, we've got 3 spots left for our next one, which is going to be in Gatlinburg.
In a similar cabin.
Right.
Just
same situation. And if you'd like to put yourself in a room with a couple of dozen active real estate investors, we'd love to have you. You can join Sub 2 Max and get to attend the Masterminds. We have 3 of those a year. I did the math while we were there last time, and over 85% of our Mastermind attendees are actually out there actively buying houses. So that's pretty cool as well. But anyway.
I was going to try to see if I could share a picture of the cabin, but I don't want to mess up the broadcast.
Right. Hey, Martin. Good to see you.
Set that up already.
Martin's out there in Oregon. We got to meet Martin when we were out there last year. So good to see you today. Gosh, another thing that I was going to bring up today was contractors. And I was going to ask you guys if y'all ever have psycho contractors. We hired a contractor to do a couple of minor repairs for us in a house that we put on the market last week. We hired him like 2 days before we went out of town, and told him what we wanted him to do. Like I said, it was just a couple of minor things: replace some doorknobs and make a repair to a front door and paint a couple of ceilings. And this guy, we told him we'd be out of town. We'd be back on Sunday, and this guy sent us an invoice by email Saturday morning at 3:00. And by 9 or 10 o'clock, he was on the phone screaming with us about getting paid. It was really an interesting situation.
No, we told him we were leaving town beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like, "Oh, you're on vacation."
Yeah.
You just because you're on vacation doesn't mean you don't have to pay me. I'm like,
right. So
he wanted to see what your work was like until we get back. We told him that ahead of time.
Yeah. So if you guys had any contractor deals like that, we'd love to hear about those and your questions as well. The question that we got for Ask the Goat, this question is from Ryan, and Ryan asks, are there any recommended purchase price ranges for a sub 2 deal? A lot of properties in my local market are above the 500,000 range, and I wonder if this is a suitable market for sub 2. Ryan, what you're looking for is going to be your median price range home, plus or minus about 10%. that's been the guide that we've used for a really long time. And that works really well because it's going to give you the largest pool of potential buyers possible. So that's what you want. If 500,000 is the normal price for a home in your area, then that's where you want to be, because that's what people are paying. That's what the market can afford, and you'll have your largest pool of buyers. So that's exactly what you want to do. So anyway, so what else we got going on, Jodi?
I'm just blanking out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get back in the groove. We missed last week. We are going to be moving Goat Talk. We're moving it.
That's right.
Tuesday, starting the 1st of June. So we won't be on Thursdays anymore. We'll be on Tuesdays, same time.
At the same time, right?
Yep, same time. Right. We get through with this morning. We're going out. We've got a carpet install at one of our houses, and we're going to start putting together our door knocking packages. We actually spoke the other night to our Sub 2 Max group about our door knocking and pre-foreclosure routine, what we do as far as how we put our list together, how we put the packages together, the postcard sequence that we mail. If you guys are doing pre-foreclosures, let us know. Let us know in the comments so we can talk about that for just a little bit. Seems like we've got. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Oh,
go ahead, me.
I thought you were saying something.
No.
I'm just going to say, it looks like we've got a small group this morning. If people, if nobody's got any questions or anything, we might just wrap this up a little bit early.
Yeah.
So
we messed up a little bit. We didn't send it to the $7 group for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we did.
Let's see.
There's a Facebook comment. Maybe we did get it to work.
Yeah, maybe so. It told us we weren't going live in the $7.
Yeah, I think we had a little technical problem, so we didn't have your mail.
Right. Let's see. Hey, Joyce. Good morning. Good to see you. Cindy's here. Good to see you.
There we go. Yeah, I felt like everybody was gone today.
Yeah. Facebook user, did the mastermind fill up? We got 3 spots left. Not sure who that is.
We don't know who we are.
Yeah. We got 3 spots left. If you're in the group, we'd love to have you. And if you're not, join us. You can go to, I think we've got a link here that we can give to you. You can go join us, and hey, you can join us at the Mastermind. So go to sub2max.com. Love to have you over there. Let's see. Philippe. Okay. So we got Phil in here, Facebook user. Let's see. Corey said, I have threatened to come to our personal house to get me after I kicked him off a job for terrible work and time overruns.
I wasn't so sure that this wasn't going to happen with that guy too.
I'll tell you, when, and this all goes to the importance of never being the owner of the property. You manage the property, putting everything in a trust and not having a lot of your personal information out there, your address or anything else, not having any of that stuff out there. This guy started threatening us immediately. He tried to tell me that he was going to have me charged with theft of services, and he was going to file, of course, a lien against the property. And you would just have to read the text. It was amazing. We never had any.
And he said, if I don't get my money by 2 p.m., I'm going to the police.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
William's like, go for it.
Yeah. Jump frog. I mean, you're going to, okay. So what are you going to tell the police? Now this all happened. We got back on Sunday. He was texting us all this stuff. He said, I'm going to go. I'm like, what are you going to, and I'm thinking, I didn't say this because I try not to engage with people like that too much when they're ranting and raving. He's like, oh, and I'm thinking, what are you going to do? You're going to tell them I did this work. I billed them on Saturday. It's, Sunday, Monday. They haven't paid me. They stole from me. I mean, it's the most outrageous thing I've ever heard of. And he
said he was going to come back and take all the doorknobs and stuff because he changed the locks.
It was a very interesting weekend, and all I did was say to the guy, listen, I reminded him, listen, we're out of town. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll go by, we'll take a look, and we'll call you and make payment arrangements.
And
And
by arrangements, you were talking about arranging where to meet him to give him
right,
some money,
to give him a check.
not like payments over time. But
Yeah,
that's what he took it as, and he's like, I don't take arrangements. I don't take payment arrangements. I get cash in the on the spot. And he was
right.
screaming.
It was crazy. So so I called him and I'm like, listen, fella, we're gonna go by, we're gonna take a look at the house. He had already jumped all over Jody. She tried to call him, and then I called him, and then he's one of those people, he won't let you speak. He wants to get louder and louder
That
and
was
talk
that
over
was the
you.
most frustrating. That's why I ended up hanging up on him. I think you did too.
I did.
Because as soon
I'm
as
not
you say the beginning of a sentence, he jumps, he yells over top of you.
right. And so I'm not going to talk to this person if they want to do that. So he sent me a text and he said, if I don't have my money by 2 o'clock, I'm going to go to the police department and I'm going to file a lien on your property. So he drew
and the theft thing and file charges.
right.
Like,
So he drew a line in the sand, and I said, well, okay, he's decided on his remedy, so we'll let him pursue that. And so then we didn't hear anything from him the next day, and I guess he figured out in Arkansas you have to send a letter, a notice of intent to lien to the property owner,
and you have to have had a contract, which we didn't have with him.
and
we should have, but we didn't.
So he was silent the next day. So I let him stew in his own juices for that day. And then yesterday we sent him a text and said, hey, I need your address and I need the name that you want the check made payable to so we can get this in the mail. And I did that wondering what the response would be, but he just sent over the name and his address.
He waited a little while though. I think he wanted to have it done his way.
Right. And so it all got worked out. So good morning, John Bates. Good to see you. Good to see you here this morning. John said to get Cussy involved.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, Cindy's got a little hot deal potentially going on here.
If I get the beginning balance on the foreclosure, I'm working and the numbers work, then I have to locate the heir. I like a challenge. That's right, Cindy. Cindy, on your deal, the first thing you want to know is this: is this, is the juice worth the squeeze? You want to know what the property's worth, get a good guesstimate on the repairs that it needs, and then find out what they owe as close as you can. So find out what the beginning balance was, how long it's likely been since they made a payment. And I know these people are both deceased, so when they died, probably maybe the month prior. PropStream would be a good tool. Send Jody the address.
But it's a line of credit, so we really don't know what the balance would be.
Okay. And find out if there's plenty of equity there. So if you can't get an accurate gauge on how much they owe, it's probably worth it. So do that and then go in. And
I think it's probably going to be good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. It was adjustable rate. Well, I'll tell you what, probably the best deal we've done here in Arkansas is an adjustable rate, but the rate's still low because it started out super low. It's still only 4% right now, so chances
and
are.
the balance was low, so even if it had a high interest, it wasn't that much much money.
That's right.
And that may be true with the home equity loan too.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. If you guys have any questions, let us have them. Yeah, I know, right?
You weren't going to post that, were you?
Yeah, Jeff just got signed up for the Mastermind, so good to see him back. Good morning, Matt Smith. How are you doing? Good to see you here.
Now we're getting more people on here.
Yeah,
it's like they lost us for a little while earlier.
Well, our inconsistency in being on here probably didn't help us. But we do travel a lot. Sometimes we do this when we're on the road. Sometimes we don't. We were actually at the Mastermind last week, and that's why we didn't do it. Yeah. Thought the show moved to Tuesday. It does. June the 1st, the month of June, Matt, it's going to move to Tuesdays. Oh. Yeah. We are moving to Tuesdays in June, so be ready for that.
So we have a couple more Thursday shows.
Yeah, a couple more Thursdays, and we'll be there. So anyway,
And of course we don't. Woohoo! And of course we don't do it on the last week of the month because we just don't.
Yep, that's our week. The last week of the month's our week.
We try to take as much stuff off of work as we can, so we because we can.
Yep, that's right. Because we're glamorous real estate investors.
That's right.
That's what we do. So
I don't know. When we talked about being too rich to be a real estate investor, a lot of these people weren't in here. I don't know if you want to just recap or if you don't.
Well, that was our
watch the replay too, but
yeah, that was our main topic.
I wanted to just a little discussion on that. Now we have some discussers.
Yeah. Are you too successful to make it as a real estate investor? Because if you're not uncomfortable with what you're doing, I mean, I speak personally. I wasn't broke. I lived like probably 90% of people in the country live. There used to be a saying, I haven't heard it much lately. Wow, what are you doing over there?
Zoomed us in, and I'm like, oh.
And that was that most families are 2 paychecks from living in the street. And in a way, I lived that way for a large part of my life. I spent what I made, and, married, had 2 kids, and bought, we qualified for $150,000 house. And of course we had to have the $175,000 house. So, the payments a stretch. You get a new car every couple of years. You got to haul the kids around to the soccer games and stuff. And
we did the same thing. Our house was a little more than we could kind of afford. And, we dipped into our savings until like a little bit every month until the tax refund replenished it. And then,
right. Yeah. That was our MO. We would charge Christmas up on credit cards and then pay it off when the tax refund came. And we're all guilty of this. We're so busy working, and I think that's the intent of the powers that be. They want to keep everybody so busy running on the hamster wheel, they can't pay much attention to what's going on. But you're so busy making a living that you can't really make a life. And I was guilty of that for a really long time. So you barely make it. You're not, you're not living in a house with a dirt floor. You're not in the street, but you got the American dream. You got a nice house. You drive a new car. I didn't take a vacation. When I became an investor and I took my first vacation, I hadn't had a vacation in over 10 years. I used to sell my vacations for extra money, literally. So, but still, it was a miracle. The only thing I think that saved me was I just absolutely hated my job so much. So I really hated it. And that's what got me out. But a lot of people
you learned how to be resourceful way before you got comfortable.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like you never had to struggle. You did before that. I mean, paycheck to paycheck is struggling, kind of, but not really struggling. I mean, really struggling. People who really struggle, sometimes that's what it takes for them to succeed.
And that's a common story in super successful people. If you really look at it, most of them came from a really hard place, and became super successful because, man, they just burned the boats.
Because they didn't have a choice.
Yeah. How's your guys' week going? What does your typical week look like? Gosh, well, a typical week for us, we run radio ads now, so we generate a lot of our deals through that. Other than that, really about the only thing we do, real estate related, is pull a list once a week of 90-day MLS listings and put those in a postcard sequence. And the most work, I guess, we really do real estate wise is pre-foreclosures. That's a little process. A lot of it, our VA is going to take off of our hands, pulling the list from the county websites and putting the list together and everything. We'll assemble the packages and do the driving. Typical week for us. Geez.
I don't know if they're not really very typical. They're kind of different every,
Right.
and then if you get a house under contract, then you have sort of a little burst of activities you have to take care of,
Right.
Title search stuff, and depending on different things, like if you're keeping it, you gotta put your utilities, there's just a bunch of stuff that is
Right.
just a per property kind of task. And so it's not a weekly thing necessarily.
Right.
I don't know.
So
I don't think we have a real
we're not very routine. We travel a lot. Some of our stuff has to be done on the road, but the really cool thing is, other than meeting with sellers and being local now, we do meet with sellers. And that's a lot better. You close a lot more deals when you actually meet with sellers. I find that more and more people ask you when they call you now, where are you located? I think they're over people that are calling them from, Washington or Florida or wherever the case may be. And actually, one of our Sub 2 Max students told a story at the Mastermind about a deal that she just got literally the night before she drove up for the Mastermind, where the guy took $100,000 less. That was Dina. Took $100,000 less than he'd been offered from another investor that wasn't local. So, man, that's pretty significant.
Because he didn't trust the other guy.
Yeah. And she was local, and she drove out and she met with him and gave him a hug, and and got the deal. So
right.
Local matters, especially nowadays. People are getting texted a million times
from everywhere.
Yeah. So I think that's really important now.
And they don't fall for the, you find a Google Voice number in their area with the right area code. They don't fall for that either.
Right. Matt said, I do that at my job. I sell back my vacation for money. Matt, you're the first person that has ever told me they understood what I'm talking about when I say that. And it really screws you too, because they take so much more out in taxes for that vacation check. When you work and you make your money and you also get paid, so your income doubles for that week, and they really hit you with the taxes on that, though. Yeah, but I did that for years. For a couple of reasons. One, in the restaurant business, you're always short-staffed. So I had an excuse to do it, and I just needed the money. When you got a couple of kids, you can always use that extra, a few $100 that you get. So, yeah, for sure. That's tough. Okay, guys, y'all got any more questions? Let us know. Otherwise, we may wrap up a little bit early today and drive down and check out our carpet installers. These guys.
This was a nice comment from Cindy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Had the best time with the Masterminds, like a big family of brothers and sisters who want the best for you. I agree, Cindy.
That's really true. I mean,
it is.
And every time I think everybody gets tighter. Right. What I mean?
Mm-hmm. And if you've never been a part of a mastermind, let me tell you, a mastermind doesn't have to be something that you found from a Facebook ad where you have to pay $25,000 or $50,000 to buy into it. But a mastermind is not like going to a real estate event where someone stands in front of the room and speaks to you for hours about a different topic and drives you to the back of the room to buy a course. Mm-hmm. It's nothing like that. A mastermind is literally a group of people who sit around. In our case, we sit around a big square table. It's about 24 people. And we literally, one by one, talk about our businesses, what's working for us right now, what our goals were from the last mastermind, how close we've come to hitting those, if we've exceeded them, and what got us there, and what challenges we're having. And when we talk about our challenges, the other 20 some odd people around the room go, I dealt with that exact same thing. Here's what I did. This is what worked well for me. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And you take all that away with you to go home for the next 3 or 4 months and use their ideas and what worked for them to improve your business. It's
a lot more like brainstorming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for 3 full days. And among all of that, you go out to dinner together, you play games together, you just visit and talk about your families and other things. So it's not just all work. I'll tell you, it's exhausting mentally because there's just so much information to process. It is a really unique and powerful experience. So if you
And this was another good point.
Mhm.
Switch it here.
Yeah, staying together in the house. In the past, we've gone to hotels, and people, some groups of people stay together and go do some things. But people tend to break up. Well, in the house, that's not possible. People are together.
You have to stay together.
Yeah, the majority of the time. So,
well, I mean, it lends itself to having a more visity.
mm-hmm.
I'm making up words again. Visity right. Kind of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. When you're at a hotel, there's not always a good spot to sit and lounge around and talk at the hotel. So you almost have to go to a restaurant or sit in the lobby, which isn't the best. This is like your living room.
Mm-hmm.
And so people, there's a little group of people out on the deck. There's a little group in the living room. There's a group in the kitchen. They're all having different conversations. Right. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it really was. And so what my point is that if you're not part of a mastermind, you need to look for one. And are the $25,000, $30,000, $50,000 ones good for you? Some people say they are. All I'm saying is it's not necessary to do that. You can find smaller ones. Ours is a great one. Hey, if you want to join, but there are others out there as well. So,
and you can honestly, you can create your own if you know people that are like-minded, and you just say, let's start one. Right. And you start one, and it doesn't have to cost anything, except for your own cost.
Right. Matt said, how do you guys raise private money? I struggle getting private lenders. Should I focus on business credit instead? You know what, Matt? Private money is relationship based. It's people that that have money, that trust you, and you can show them how they can get a better return than what they're getting in their CDs or their bank account or whatever. So the first step in raising private money is to let everyone know what you do. Are you a successful real estate investor? Do you buy houses? There's some partners in our group that every time they close on a house, they make a post on Facebook and they go, hey, got another one. This house is going to generate, whatever percent return for our investors. If you'd like to get involved, please contact us. You want to let people know what you do. We did a goofy little challenge at our mastermind that said, hey, how many of you guys are really getting out there letting people know what you do? You all have or should have business cards. So let's have a little game. We all go out every day. We go to the grocery store, we go get coffee, we do whatever. Put out your business cards on a bulletin board or wherever it may be. Take a picture and show those in the group. Get yourself out there. Let people know who you are. Should you focus on business credit? Business credit's great too. What did you just do this week, Jodi, on business credit? Jackie Hug, she and her husband are in Sub 2 Max. Yeah. And they recommended some steps to establishing business credit. You want to tell them about that one?
She's recommended this American Express card, and I applied for it. I can't think in December, and I got a $10,000 limit. And then she said after 90 days, ask for an increase. So maybe it was before December, but anyway, I waited 90 days and I asked for an increase, and they doubled it. And then then I went to 20, and then I just did it yesterday or the day before, and I don't think it was another 90 days, but I've been using it regularly and paying it off regularly. Mm-hmm. And so my, rotation of payments were good. And so then I asked for another 10. And so I went to 30 within probably 4 or 5 months. It went up to 30,000 in, available credit. So that was cool. Mm-hmm. I wanted to mention too about my private lenders, how I found them. When I first got private lenders, Facebook wasn't really much of a thing yet. But I just talked about it to my friends and family. My first, I don't remember which one was first exactly now, but my first couple one was my really good friend who borrowed money from her, what do you call it? Her IRA.
Mm-hmm.
Borrowed against it, I should say. And then and then I had another one. My ex-husband's guy that worked with him, he had $50,000 he wanted to make money with, so I used him. Um, my other friend's brother had some money, and then I had my stepmother had some money she wanted to invest. So there were just people I knew, or people who knew, like a friend of a friend, and that's where I got all my money. I never used hard money or institutional money or anything. So it's really easy, honestly. I
Yeah.
mean, I wasn't very experienced as an investor even at the time, but they just trusted me.
Mm-hmm. It is relationship based. Private money is relationship based. It's a matter of letting people that you know what you do, and you will have people approach you that you don't know just because they hear about it or whatever. It just depends on how
And
much money you want to have.
and I think three of those investors were not very savvy at all.
Mm-hmm.
One of them kind of knew about this stuff, but the other three didn't really know anything about it. They just were like, "Yeah, I'd like to make $2,000 on my $20,000 or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
They thought that was a pretty sweet deal.
For sure. Okay. All right. Matt asked, what are you guys' goals? Matt, my goal has been the same. Real estate related goals for the last 10, 12, 13 years, and that's to buy one house a month. That's it.
No, wait, what was your other goal?
Which goal?
To make as much money with
Oh,
little.
well, I say that's my agenda. That's what I want to do, and that is something that came out in the mastermind this last time too. I said, guys, your objective as an investor should be to make as much money as possible with the least amount of effort and hassle. And if you can help somebody while you're doing it, that's fantastic. But your goal should be to make as much money as you possibly can. I hear people talking about buying a house and doing an assignment or making $10,000 or $15,000 on an assignment. Why in the world would you do that when you can list it and make 4 or 5 times that? I mean, really, and it's no more work. I mean, in my opinion, an agent lists your house for you, and they sell it. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of these deals we're doing, we could have done a wholesale assignment and we could have made 20% of what we made. It just doesn't make any sense. But our goals are pretty simple. Mine are. I mean, Jodi may want to buy 100 houses a month. We just haven't got there yet.
No, not 100.
Yeah.
Two's good.
We bought 5 in 1 month a couple of months ago, and that was a heck of a lot of work.
That really got a little overwhelming.
So,
I think 2 or 3 would be fine.
Yeah, right. Okay. Corey said,
unless we had, employees or something.
Right. And when we get in a house, we're probably going to hire a local assistant to do a lot of stuff for us, a lot of running around stuff. But we just, we still do a lot of the work ourselves. So nobody does it as good as you do it. That's what we fall into a lot of times. But the truth is, if you can hire somebody that can do it 90% of what you can do, that's probably a worthwhile expenditure. Yeah. Corey said, Matt, tell your story on social media, show your projects, and you'll get the money. So it's I don't know if you shared this comment or not. Staying in the house is key. I can't.
Yeah, remember. I did. Yep.
Yeah. John Bates, a certain level of intimacy was forced staying at the house. I would have run back to my hotel.
That sounds funny, but it's true.
Yeah, it is. It forces you to to talk with people. And I'm telling you, every conversation you learn something. You learn something about your business or yourself or whatever. It was really good stuff. So
yes, it was very good.
Melissa said, Mastermind sounds great. I missed the dates in Tennessee. The next Mastermind is in September. Arrival on September 27th. That's a Wednesday. And we check out on October 1st, which is a Sunday. So Mastermind runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I just wanted to make a comment about John's comment. No, he said it was forced intimacy. Because it was funny because the first Mastermind he came to, he wouldn't even talk. He talked probably a little bit to people behind the scenes, but he didn't talk in the group, and I didn't see him mingling very much. He's like really like come out of his shell.
It's amazing watching people and their growth.
Yeah.
Whether it's cold calling ninjas that we would do, where we would practice calling sellers, and some people are absolutely horrible on the phone. You can't tell them that. You have to be encouraging. But
that was great.
After a few calls, and how they're just a master. I mean, I won't call any names. We got a couple of people in the group right now that, a couple of years ago, I mean, it was embarrassing to watch, and now they're masters and they're buying multiple houses.
It was probably me
on a monthly basis. But it really is.
You didn't say no.
It's really great. Well,
it was probably me.
You were the seller, really. We called you easy seller because you were just like, yeah, whatever, you can have it. I mean, I do remember your first call. So, let's see. Matt said, I need to meet more people. Well, yeah, I'll tell you, Matt, if you go through your phone and look at your contacts and make sure that everybody in your contact list knows what you do, you probably find some money. I'm going to bet on it. Okay, there's Ron. Hey, Ron, good to see you. I look forward to coming to Tennessee when you have the next one. Listen, Ron, we got to get you in sub 2 max so you can join us. We got 3 spots left for September. They'll probably be gone by the end of the day. So join us in sub 2 max, get signed up, and we will see you there. Looking forward to it. Let's see, what else has Matt got here?
I don't want to brag, but it will change your everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It's not like we're anything magical. It's not really us.
It's not us.
It's the concept of what we do, and it will change everything.
Mm-hmm. It's the people. It's listen, I've been doing this for a really long time. I've been to a ton of events. I've seen a million speakers. I know all about all of that stuff and how it works, but there's a real difference in having somebody stand in the front of the room and teach you for a couple hours or a few days and tell you about all this stuff that they can do and that they've done, and sitting in a room with real people that are doing it every day, and that's how they make their living. There's
I know that at those speaker events like that, there's a lot of networking and mingling in between, but again, they all go back to their room. There's not always a good spot to get to know everybody. And it's just like kind of hit and miss, during lunch or whatever. This is like, what do you call it? This is like immersion, it's much different.
And it gets emotional at times. I mean, there are tears occasionally. Somebody's having a problem with something. It's not working for them. It's very frustrating. We all deal with that.
Right.
And I don't mean to make it sound like some big, voodoo type.
Well, it's not like, it's not like shock therapy, but it's kind of therapeutic, honestly.
What I'm saying is it's real.
Yeah.
It's real people and what they do each and every day. So like I said, and I'll say this again, I'm not trying to sell hours, which I think is fantastic, but I'm telling you, you need to be a part of a mastermind, no matter which one it is. Create your own if you know people, but try to get in a room full of people that are doing more than you are. John is one heck of a kitchen cleaner upper and garbage taker outer. He is, man. Everybody really pitched in.
Helpful. There's a couple people that were like super helpful with helping us out.
That's for sure. Let's see. 1 house a month is really good. I agree, Matt. 12 houses a year. If you buy the right house, you can buy 12 houses a year. You can make over $300,000 this year. And I'm going to bet that I would kick the ass of any job most people on here have or had before they started investing. And by the end of the 3rd year, you're making well over $500,000 a year. And you can live a pretty dang good life on that money, and you got a life because you're only buying 1 house a month. You can go do some stuff that you want to do. You can take the 4th week of every month off and not do anything if you don't want to. Let's see. one a day sounds stressful. Whew, yeah, I wouldn't want to think about that.
I'm not sure. I think he might have meant one a month. He said one a month is good. I think even one sounds stressful. I don't know. Maybe that was a typo.
One a day. I don't know. Now there are a lot of people out there that claim they buy,
I think
100 houses a month.
I think you need a big team for that.
But that wouldn't be me. One flip every 6 months for me has been a lot. If you're talking about wholesale stuff, okay, rehabs, rehabs can be pretty stressful. That's for sure. Let's see. I like how real you guys are. You do the things you talk about. Yes, we do, Matt. We love real estate. That's for sure. So I appreciate that comment. All right, guys. Y'all have any other questions? We'll answer those for you. If not, we're going to get out of here a few minutes early.
We do have some stuff we got to take care of. So
we got a big list of stuff today.
I know.
Like I said, we got carpet installers that we got to go check on. It's the first time that they've done work for us, so we want to go down there and see what they're doing. And we got a new seller finance house we got to get on the market, so got to get it sold. And but we appreciate you guys coming out today. And let's see, we got another comment. Matt doesn't know what he's missing. Come on, dude. That's right. Join us, Matt.
It must be Phil.
We'd love to have you. Philippe. That's Philippe. Yeah. Absolutely. So, all right, guys. You want to get out of here? You want to go to the carpet installers?
Yeah, let's go look.
All right, let's go look.
It's going to look so fabulous.
We appreciate you joining us. Remember, we are going to be moving to Tuesdays.
We should make a banner that hangs up at the top that says moving to Tuesday.
So we're moving to Tuesdays. Same time, 9 a.m. Central, 10 Eastern. And that was
all right, is it?
Isn't it right?
10 Central.
Is it 10? Gosh, I don't know. I have a notification that tells me when to be here. I don't know.
We just do with the notifications.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, I hear something. My VA sets it up. Okay, I need to be on this thing. That's what I do. Getting old isn't for sissies. So anyhow, you guys have a fantastic week. We're moving to Tuesday starting in June. So tell everybody about that. Share our live stream, if you will. Let everybody know that we're here. We want to answer your questions. And we're going to go check out some carpet installers. So you guys have a great day. And, you got to talk to some sellers if you want to buy some houses, right?
That's right.
Okay. So
let's get it going.
All right. See y'all next week.
Bye.